All right, welcome everyone back from break. Our next presentation today is Kristen Leffelman. She is the Southeast Wisconsin Outreach Coordinator with the Wisconsin Historical Society's Office of Programs and Outreach. So everyone, welcome Kristen.
Everyone, sorry about my title. It is difficult to say and it's a new title, so maybe I have to work on that or something. But good morning and thanks so much to Katie for hosting today. Thank you, Kristen, Vicki, and the staff at Wills for developing this awesome program. I know my wheels are turning after that absolute wealth of knowledge that Dorothea just shared. But I think my presentation will be probably a little breezier for you to ease back into the real meat in the next couple sessions too. So as Katie said, my name is Kristen Leffelman and I'm the Southeast Outreach Coordinator for the Wisconsin Historical Society. If you're an affiliate living in the southern or eastern part of the state, we may have corresponded before. I'm based out of Milwaukee and I'm the regional contact for that part of the state. So today I'm excited to be sharing with you an overview of the Society's local history outreach program, which has grown and changed a bit over the past few years. And I'll be presenting for around 10 minutes, then we'll have some time for questions after that if you have any. So the local history outreach program used to be called Field Services. We've sort of rebranded it in the last couple of years to be a little more wide reaching. And we manage a number of programs for the Society. First and foremost is just outreach services and partnerships with local history, heritage, and cultural groups. And that includes our local history affiliate program, which many of you are a part of and which I'll talk a little bit in the next slide. We also have the Wisconsin State Historical Markers Program, which is the official marker program for the state of Wisconsin. Our Speakers Bureau, which connects WHS Press authors, staff, and other experts with venues around the state for virtual and in-person programs. And I know many of you have used that before. We manage a traveling exhibit program, which has 5 banner exhibits that are available for venues to rent. And then on top of that, just sort of a wide swath of webinars, programs, conferences, and more. So next slide. All right, so I'd like to introduce you to our team, which has expanded both in terms of its size and its geographic footprint in recent years. So first we have 3 regional staff contacts who help to kind of coordinate outreach and affiliate services for dedicated parts of the state. So on top there, you're going to see Liz Arbuckle. She's based in Ashland at the Northern Great Lakes Visitor Center, and she's our contact for the northern region of the state, which you see in orange there. Then we have Janet Seymour, who some of you met earlier today. She is based in Eau Claire, and she's our contact for the west central region of the state, which is kind of a olive green or khaki color, I think we'd call that. And then I'm based in Milwaukee, and I'm your contact for the southern and eastern region of the state, which is in blue here. Next slide. And then outside of those regional staff contacts, we also have 3 team members who provide services statewide. So first is Tanika Apollo, and she is our multicultural outreach coordinator. So she coordinates a lot of our outreach to underrepresented and multicultural communities. And she also plans our Heritage Month activities. Next, we have Fitzy Heimdahl. He is our Historical Markers Program coordinator. The title is pretty self-explanatory. If you have any markers questions, if you're interested in having a marker, if you've lost a marker, Fitzy is your guy. And then finally, we have Amy Norlin, and she is our Outreach Services Coordinator. And I think many of you who are affiliates have had many reasons to communicate with her before. Among many other things, she works with affiliates on their annual reporting. She responds to a lot of our affiliate inquiries, and she can also help organizations who'd like to become affiliates if they aren't already through that process. So next slide. All right. So now that you've met the team, I'd like to share a little bit more of 2 of our core programs. And the first one I want to talk about is our affiliate program, which I think a lot of you are familiar with as affiliates. But through this program, the Local History Outreach Program supports a network of 426 affiliated organizations. I think that's the current number. We approved 2 more this spring, so it's always growing. And all nonprofit community history and cultural organizations can apply for affiliation. And that does include publicly funded museums and also tribal museums. And once you've affiliated, which is a free process, you just have to get approved by our board of curators. You get a number of benefits through the Historical Society. And one of the best ones is that you can apply for mini grants to support collections care. And I'm going to share more about that in an upcoming slide, but that does include digitization projects. So it could be managed by the Wisconsin Historical Foundation. So that can take kind of a complex financial management thing off your plate if you need it. Let's see. I just got a note that my connection is unstable, so we'll see. All affiliates also become members of the Wisconsin Council for Local History, which is an advisory group for the Wisconsin Historical Society. You would receive Wisconsin Historical Society publications and newsletters, and that includes our newsletter columns and also the Wisconsin Magazine of History. And you can receive discounts from Gaylord Archival. So if you need supplies, that's a great resource for you. All right, next slide. And yeah, I really want to share with you about the MiniGrant program. Every spring, our affiliates can apply for grants of up to $700 for projects and activities that support collections care and management. The 2021 season is concluding now, but if you have one of these projects on the horizon, we encourage you to start planning now for a 2022 mini grant. And they can cover any of these topics. So archival supplies, past perfect software, storage and shelving, digitization equipment, climate control equipment, computer hardware, conservation supplies, and training. And I can definitely say that in recent years, digitization equipment, still too early for that word. It's really become one of the biggest things that people ask for. And I would also say that our staff is very happy to review applications or talk through projects ahead of time. So if you need help crafting the best application possible, you just have questions about if your project applies, reach out to us and we're happy to respond. Next slide. So then I'm just, in the next couple of slides, going to include some different ways that you can engage with our team. And the first way is through our webinar program. So we offer free open webinars throughout the year on a variety of topics. So I just picked out some from the last 6 or 9 months or so that we've done. We did one on the Hmong refugee experience in Wisconsin, interpreting women's history at historic sites in new innovative ways. And that was especially in light of the COVID pandemic and how people are, kind of reassessing programs. We did a series on markers, monuments, and meaning. That really became a big topic of discussion again last summer. Strategies for fundraising success during COVID-19, and I know that's important to a lot of us still. And then also reopening museums and historic sites. And I know many of us are doing that at this moment right now. And all of our past webinars are available through the Wisconsin Historical Society website. So if you're interested in any of these or any of our past, or just want to see what else we've done, shoot me an email. I'm happy to send that link to you. And stay tuned. We don't have anything on the docket quite yet, but I know we're going to have some webinars coming up. So keep an eye out for those. Next slide. And then every October, we host a local history and historic preservation conference in partnership with the State Historic Preservation Office. This year, I think is going to be our 15th. So at the conference, you can expect daily keynote presentations, networking opportunities, workshops, tours, and educational sessions on topics that range from exhibit design to window repair to green book sites in Wisconsin. So there's really something for everyone. And I've plugged in kind of the next few years that are coming up here. Due to the continuing uncertainties with large scale gatherings, We are doing this year's conference online again, but that's a really great opportunity to log in from home with a cup of coffee like you're doing today, host a watch party with your local historical society. It can be kind of fun to hop around sessions if you find out something's not working for you in a way that is a little more awkward in in-person conference. But we are going back to in-person. So in 2022 is going to be in Rothschild. 2023 will be in La Crosse. And then in 2024, we will be in Appleton with Katie. All right. Next up, we do have a book club. And I know that Joe is a member and some others. But this is a fun program that we started, during the pandemic as a way to join fellow Wisconsin book lovers and amateur historians in engaging discussions on unique books. They're all virtual meetings. They're free to join. Although I do think we are maybe planning some in-person get-togethers for next year. But one thing that's kind of nice is if we do a WHS press book, you do get a 20% discount on the book, so that's kind of fun. But we are working on our slate of books for the upcoming season. So, keep an eye out for those. But I think in the fall, we'll start kind of doing monthly book clubs again. Next slide. And then I just wanted to kind of share one little thing about an exciting development. One of the most exciting projects that we've been talking about for the past few years at the Historical Society is the development of a new Wisconsin History Museum. This is an idea that's been talked about literally for decades, and it looks like it's finally becoming a reality. So just recently, the Board of Curators approved a $120 million project to build the new museum. And looking like it may be a new site, 1 block away from the state capitol, although location details are still in the works. That's a very complicated process, it turns out. But the new museum is being funded through a combination of private donations and state funds. And as we encourage you to look for ways to engage in sharing your history, as we're going to be launching the next phase of statewide programs soon. And I'm sure we're going to be reaching out to all of our partners about that exciting project. All right, next slide. So here's just a couple ways to connect with us if you want to know more about what we're doing, or if you have any inquiries, anything like that. You can always email our whole team using this email address, fieldservices@wisconsinhistory.org. You can also email that address if you'd like to request the local history e-newsletter. And that's really great. We post upcoming webinars, these digital fairs were on there, other resources. And then you can get updates from us, but also from other local historical societies. So we kind of like to highlight what other people are doing around the state. We also offer a local history listserv, which is a great place to ask questions, seek advice, post events, and more. If you have a question about, say, the best scanner to use, shoot the listserv an email, and other people who are doing those types of projects will send responses to you. And we also have a searchable archives for the listserv. So, if you want to see if somebody has asked that question before or just want to browse, that's a really great place to look for, past local history conversations about topics. And then I just have put our website on here as well. You can go to wihist.org/local history, and that has all of our resources in one place for you. So that's really all I have. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you, Chris.